Please welcome to the stage the chair of the McHenry County Democratic Party and the first woman president of the IDCCA, Kristina Zahorik.
I'm going to take a quick selfie if you don't mind, because y'all look so good. Thank you. Hello, Democrats! Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. And isn't brunch better with Democrats? Here we go. You all can raise your signs too if you want, and make a nice photo. That's right, brunch is better with Democrats. Congratulations to our 2023 party builders, and thank you, Senator Durbin, for all of your assistance with the IDCCA over the years in building the party. Thank you for encouraging your esteemed colleague, Senator Catherine Cortez Mastro, to be this year's keynote speaker. We gather today in community to get energized and to plan for the work ahead. And let me say this, as a Christian and as a mom, I want to be aware. I want to be, as my kids say, woke to the suffering of those around me. I want to know the history, and I want to make things better. And for those that don't, I'm baffled. I also want to say, as the daughter of a union newspaper man, I support freedom of the press. I also support it as an American. And no one is above the law. We are blessed in this state to have so many amazing Democrats who are elected, who are governing, who are working to protect our democracy, who are working to protect our freedoms. And it only happens because people like you stepped up and volunteered and elected them. Democrats like Senator Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth. And our 14-member Illinois congressional delegation, who we are going to return to Congress. And maybe add one or two more. Democrats like Governor J.B. Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. Democrats like Attorney General Kwame Raoul, Treasurer Mike Frericks, and Comptroller Susana Mendoza. Democrats like those in the supermajority Illinois General Assembly, led by previous IDCCA Party Builder awardees, President Don Harmon and Speaker Chris Welch. Democrats like those serving in the judiciary, including Illinois Supreme Court Justices Mary Kay O'Brien and Joy Cunningham, who are here today. The hundreds of Democrats that are serving at the county and township levels, including the thousands who share our values, who are serving at the municipal level, on park district, library, and on school boards. The work that we do at the IDCCA, along with those who volunteer to serve as county chairs and precinct committee people, help to recruit, to train, and to elect all of these amazing elected officials. And it's because of the work that you do that Illinois remains a beacon of blue and a sea of red. And of course, the IDCCA remains committed and dedicated to help you succeed. I also want to thank our sponsors, and a special shout out to our friends in labor who are here today. Because without their contributions, we could not get out the vote in strategic targets like we did in 2022, where we saw 76% of those we contacted actually turn out to vote, or to continue to recruit and train candidates to fill positions in every space on that ballot, including working to encourage volunteers, election judges, and precinct committee people to volunteer. And you can read more about our sponsors and about all the great work we do here at the IDCCA because of your help in our program and online on our website in our annual report. The brunch marks the start of the campaign season, but it also starts the start of the school year. And I joined many parents this past few days taking my youngest to college. Shout out in particular to my executive director, Dan Kovatz. Not only for all the work that he does, but I also want to make sure I give an apology to his wife and his kids, because it seems as if every single year when we host the brunch, it's the same day that his kids start school. So thank you for sharing him with us, and thank you again, Dan, for all the work that you do. But as I was saying, I made this trek to drop my youngest off at school, and because of where they're going, I was able to kind of go over and take a visit at the National Civil Rights Museum housed at the Lorraine Motel. And it struck me when I was looking at the exhibits again, how so many ordinary people work together to make the extraordinary happen. And we've come far, but we have far to go. And we in this room are an integral part of the journey and of the solution. When we ousted the cult leader and elected the adult, President Joe Biden, he said that this election was about the soul of our nation, and he was right. And as we look toward 2024, it is still about the soul of our nation. We are in the middle of an historic battle between the privileged few ginning up culture wars to stay in power, driving a narrative that looks back fondly on our nation's darkest history, gaming the system to limit votes, stripping away our freedoms, versus the majority of us, as illustrated in the popular vote, who have a vision of America, a vision of the United States of America, that understands her past, remembers that we are a nation of hard-working immigrants, wants everyone eligible to vote, who can vote, and is willing to push up her sleeves and work toward that promise of a more perfect union. It is this second vision that is the promise of the Democratic Party, but it is up to us. And look, I don't think I'm anybody special, except maybe to my kids, and I hope after 34 years someday still to my husband. But like you, I've been called. I've been called in this moment in our history to do what is right, to do what I can, and to do what is just. I'm just an ordinary wife, frankly, married to a good union man. And I had the privilege to be a stay-at-home mom. And a million years ago, I also had the privilege to work for a man from Southern Illinois who believed at his core in the goodness of people and the righteousness of fighting the good fight. And like you, I'm just a volunteer. And like you, I have the power to act. And what a difference the power to act can make. What a difference we can make together as Democrats when we elect good people. We saw it 90 years ago under FDR and the New Deal. We saw it almost 60 years ago with the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. We saw it nearly 20 years ago with Obamacare, and we see it now under President Joe Biden with the American Rescue Plan, the infrastructure bill, and the largest gun safety bill to pass in nearly 30 years. Let alone all the good things that are happening in our economy. But there's more we can do, and there's more that we must do. Important changes are not happening just at the federal level because of Democrats. Positive things are happening in our state and in our counties and in our municipalities because we built an infrastructure to elect those who reflect our values. And I want to give a shout out to my fellow county chair and former IDCCA Party Builder winner, North Aurora trustee Mark Gately, who's in the room, and the democratically controlled Kane County Board led by Corinne Perot, because just recently they passed the strongest responsible bidder ordinance. Yes, and you did it on Mark's birthday. That's why we elect those who share our values. I also want to give a shout out to Lawrence County Chair Joe Wagner. It's his birthday today. But just think, if the democratically controlled Illinois House and Senate had not acted swiftly before Roe v. Wade fell, or couldn't because we didn't have a majority, or we didn't have a governor committed to abortion rights, Illinois easily could have been like her neighbors, where women's fundamental freedoms are being ripped away. Illinois is thriving because the work you do elects good Democrats who deliver for people, and the work you do matters for democracy. The work you do to ensure fair elections by being commissioned Democratic election judges or democratically appointed precinct and poll watchers matters for our democracy. The work you do to engage with your neighbors as appointed or elected PCs matters for our democracy. The work you do to help Democratic candidates win by phone banking, texting, donating matters for our democracy. The work you do to build the party by writing letters to the editor, talking to your family and friends, marching in parades, rallying and protesting, and of course, voting matters for our democracy. And the work we do collectively is serious and momentous times right now. We are the ordinary who are doing the extraordinary. And all of these things, I would argue, are some of the most patriotic things that we can do. Because when we engage civically, we are protecting democracy and we are protecting our freedoms. The struggle to build this more perfect union is long, it's challenging, it's hard, but those who came before us believed in the dream and did not give up. And I know we won't either. So I'm so thankful for your support during the 5 years of my presidency. And while I won't be here in this capacity next year, I will be with you on the front lines, fighting like a mother, continuing to make sure that we are electing good Democrats and we are protecting our democracy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the fair.